I was basically a dummy, and somehow the emperor handpicked me as his consort. On our wedding night, the second he took off his robe and sat down on the bed, I straight up lunged at him and kissed him, full-on drooling. Is this how newlyweds kiss, big brother? He grinned like a total fox and grabbed my hand. Not quite. How about I show you how it's done? I'd always been different from other kids. The nice way to put it? Not the sharpest tool in the shed. The real talk? I was a little slow, but nobody ever dared say it out loud. Because my dad was the prime minister, one of the most powerful men in the kingdom. Even at 4 years old, I could barely talk straight, drooling everywhere, gnawing on my fingers. But the moment anyone laughed at me, they basically ceased to exist. My dad loved me that much, because I literally saved his life. It happened before I was even born. A traitorous general staged a coup, stormed the palace, and tried to assassinate the emperor and seize power. My dad took a poison dart for the emperor and fell into a coma. The emperor put out a nationwide call for doctors. Nobody could fix him. Then a reclusive mystic showed up at our estate and said he needed to take a fragment of soul from one of the children in the household, and my dad would be healed. At the time, the only kids in the house were my older brother, and me still inside my mom. Fully term, but not yet born. Past due actually just hadn't come out yet. My brother was the firstborn son, carrying the whole family's legacy on his shoulders. So that fragment of soul had to come from me. My dad woke up, and 3 days later I was born. According to my brother, I looked totally normal at first. Thanks to my mom's killer looks, I wasn't bad either. If anything stood out, it was just that I always had this huge grin on my face. Drool absolutely everywhere. Everyone who saw me said, "This kid's always smiling. Fair-skinned, pretty little thing. Total beauty in the making." But then I hit 2.5 and still couldn't talk. People in the household started wondering if I was mute, but nobody dared say it. Nobody except my dad, who would just gently pat my head and say, "My little Aining is a late bloomer. Great things take time." The day I finally spoke happened to be the emperor's birthday banquet. My dad brought my mom, my brother, and me to the feast. The emperor spotted me in my dad's arms and laughed. "Look at her, she's grown into a little lady." My dad bowed before the emperor. I slipped out of his arms, wobbled forward a few steps and said my very first words, "Long, long, long, live." Ha 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 ha. Reward her! Reward her! Reward her! The emperor was absolutely delighted. He waved his hand and gifted 10,000 taels of gold, then issued an imperial decree making me a princess. My dad, seeing me speak for the first time, burst into happy tears. From that day on, I slowly started talking, but I still wasn't like normal kids. I spoke super slowly with slurred words, and I tripped over my own feet constantly, which just kind of confirmed it. Yeah, I was a little slow. But honestly, I've always had crazy good luck. I guess that's what they mean by blessed are the simple. I remember this one year there was a brutal drought, no rain for a whole year. Crops were completely wiped out. People were sick and dying left and right, and petitions were piling up on the new emperor's desk. That day, I don't know what got into me. I just absolutely refused to let go of my dad. Threw a full tantrum until he had no choice but to bring me along to greet the emperor. I waddled right up to the sick emperor's bedside, touched his forehead and went, "Ow, that's so hot." Rain! Rain! Come on, rain! I remembered my mom saying if you get caught in the rain, you'll catch a cold. If it rains on Emperor Uncle, his forehead won't be burning anymore. The second I said that, the wind picked up outside. I got so excited, laughing and pointing at the window. "Look, look!" Then it rained for a whole week straight. The drought ended, the emperor got better, and I got another title, Princess Fu Hui, meaning doubly blessed. I had no clue.